I am back again to discuss the Deontay Wilder Gerald Washington fight. Um, last night after I did my video, uh, I looked at the YouTube reaction and I found out something interesting. The three judges in this fight, one scored the fight 39-37 for Deontay Wilder. The other two had it 38-38, a draw. Okay, going into the fifth round, the round in which Deontay got the knockout. Okay, as I said in my post-fight video, I gave all 4 rounds to Gerald Washington. Okay, I have heard some 3-1s for Gerald Washington. I have not heard anybody say that they thought Deontay Wilder was winning that fight or that fight was a draw, other than the official judges of the fight. Okay, so if you've been with me since the beginning, you know how I am. You know I do my research. I check out backgrounds of some of these people, and I tell it like it is. Okay, I did this in the Andre Ward Sergey Kovalev fight. Talked about the commission, talked about the judges and the ref. Okay, so after seeing these scorecards, I said, you know what? I gotta investigate, and I found some interesting things. Okay, number one, the guy who scored the fight for Deontay Wilder, 39-37. This guy's name is Keith Hughes. Okay, remember that name, Keith Hughes. Okay. He is a Mississippi ref / judge. Okay. He had worked 2 previous Deontay Wilder fights in Alabama. He worked the Duhaupas fight and he worked the Molina fight. Okay. On BoxRec, this is where I got the information from. I believe he is listed as having 62 bouts on his BoxRec. Okay. Now, I didn't go through his complete BoxRec. I just kind of skimmed through the more recent parts of it. Okay. There was another fight on there that stood out to me. Okay. This guy was a judge in the Denis Lebedev Roy Jones fight in Moscow a couple of years ago. Okay. I have not seen this fight, okay, so I cannot tell you what I thought the score was or would have been, okay. I have not seen this fight, okay. But at the time of the stoppage, we know Roy got knocked out in that fight. 2 judges had the fight scored for Lebedev. One had it 87-84. The other one had it 90-81. Mr. Keith Hughes from Mississippi, he had the fight scored for Roy Jones, 86-85. Okay, completely different from the other 2 judges. The American judge scored the fight for the American, where it appeared like he was not winning. And by the way, the guy got knocked out. Okay, so like I said, I have not seen that fight. You guys can tell me how that fight went if you believe Roy Jones was up at the time of the stoppage, but I have a feeling that he was not. Okay, so another terrible scorecard in his recent BoxRec history. Okay, so Keith Hughes does not need to be judging any fights. Okay, and probably not need a ref either, because I don't know if we can trust this guy, and his integrity. This guy has ref 3 Deontay Wilder fights in Alabama. He has had 4 defenses in Alabama. 3 of those defenses, this guy was a judge. Okay, he does not need to be judging any more Deontay Wilder title fights in Alabama. Okay, plain and simple, bottom line. Okay. Now let's get to one of the guys who scored a draw. First, let's talk about Mike Ross. Okay, on Mike Ross's BoxRec, he has 1,045 bouts listed. Okay, who is he? He is a judge and a referee from Florida. Okay, on his BoxRec, the notable names that I saw in fights, he judged an Erickson Lubin fight in 2016. Okay, as we know, Lubin's on the come up, so we're not considering that a world-class, world championship fight, just a name that I recognize. Okay, in Florida, he judged that fight. Okay, I believe it was in Florida. He also judged the Arizona Lara John Zavek fight in 2015. He judged the Malik Scott Tony Thompson fight. He scored 95-94 for Malik Scott, it appears, okay? All right. From what I saw in his box rec, in his recent part, like I said, I did not look through the entire 1045 about history for him, okay? But on his box rec, the most significant work, the most high profile work that I saw for him was Deontay Wilder, okay? And like the other guy, he has worked more than one Deontay Wilder fight. This was his second consecutive Deontay Wilder title fight in Alabama that he worked, okay? Other than the Deontay Wilder fight, what I saw on this guy's resume, he had a lot of 10-round fights, 8-round fights, 6- and 4-round fights, all in Florida, okay? So this guy, you know, his most notable high-profile work is Deontay Wilder, you know. The Alabama Commission using him yet again, same as the other guy. These are two guys from southern states, Florida and Mississippi, you know, not super far from Alabama, okay? And these guys are being called to judge Deontay Wilder fights, you know, on more than one occasion, okay? Now let's talk about the other guy who scored the draw. Juan Carlos Pelayo, okay? He is a judge, supervisor, and inspector from Mexico, Tijuana to be exact. He has 222 bouts listed on his box rec. Okay, guess what? Just like Keith Hughes, he worked the Duapai and the Molina fight in Alabama for Deontay Wilder, along with the fight last night. So Juan Carlos Pelayo, along with Keith Hughes, have worked 3 Deontay Wilder title fights in Alabama. 3 of his 4 fights, his title defenses, they have worked in Alabama together on the same show, okay? All right. Now, since 2015, Juan Carlos Pelayo has worked 4 times in America. 3 of those times were in Alabama. You know? So this guy getting, you know, another trip to Alabama, to the States, to work a high-profile world championship, world heavyweight title fight. You know? Now, with these 3 guys, is it possible, is it any way possible that they could possibly have an agenda? Alabama is giving these guys work in Deontay Wilder fights for, you know, 3 times for Pelayo and Hughes, twice for Mike Ross, okay? These guys are getting trips to Alabama, working the big show, big event, world championship fight, the heavyweight championship of the world, you know, on the biggest stage. These guys are working these fights, okay? Is it not possible that, hey, you know, if Deontay wins, Deontay keeps the title in Alabama, we can get more work in Alabama, we can come do more fights in Alabama, be on more high-profile cards and fights, you know? I think it's possible. And let's just be honest. Deontay Wilder is Alabama boxing. Without Deontay Wilder, there are no title fights in Alabama. Nobody's thinking about boxing in Alabama. You know, Deontay Wilder is Alabama boxing. So could it be in the Alabama Athletic Commission, could it be in their best interest to keep the World Heavyweight Championship in Alabama, to make sure that the champ is in Alabama? You know, to keep having these title fights. You know, Deontay Wilder is a kind of a frequent fighter, you know, unless he's injured. You know, he's going to keep defending the title in Alabama. Is it possible that he could have you know, that there's an interest in keeping the title, the WBC Heavyweight Championship in Alabama? Shit, I would say so. Because who was talking about boxing in Alabama before Deontay Wilder came about? You know? So, I am putting the Alabama Athletic Commission, I am putting them on notice. I want you guys to share this video and to comment and spread the word. The Alabama Athletic Commission have used these 3 guys, at least one guy, in all of Deontay Wilder's title defenses, okay? Mike Ross 2 times, Pelayo Hughes 3 times, and they worked those 3 fights all together, okay? You know? The one time that Pelayo and Hughes did not work was the one time that Mike Ross did work. And then Mike Ross worked with them 2 last night. Okay? These guys do not need to be judging any more Deontay Wilder title fights. Okay, with the scorecards they had last night, Keith Hughes 39-37, Deontay Wilder winning the fight, that's bullshit. Mike Ross and Juan Carlos Pelayo 38-38, a draw. They could not be fair and give the fight to Washington as it was when Deontay Wilder had his back up against the ropes, near the ropes, had no control of the center of the ring, getting jabbed to death. If you want to give him the fourth round, okay. If you want to give him one round in that fight, okay. But to give him 2 rounds or 3 rounds, no, nah, man. So these guys need to be out. Do not have these guys judging any more Deontay Wilder fights in Alabama. The commission is put on notice right now. Remember these names, and if you don't, just go to BoxRec and go to the Gerald Washington fight in Deontay Wilder's BoxRec. You will see the 3 judges' names right there. These guys' names do not need to be called for any more Deontay Wilder title fights. Alabama, they have the money. I do not want to hear any excuse about funds are limited. Hell, like I said, Deontay Wilder is Alabama boxing. Okay, they should get guys from Canada, New York, wherever, the UK, but they need different judges. They need impartial judges, not the same judges that they keep bringing in over and over, okay? And I want to make this video to point that out. Also, there was some talk about the stoppage of the fight. I think that there was a good stoppage. Fox had that terrible, they did not film it very well, but you could see in the background when they were showing Wilder, Washington was fumbling and bumbling into the ropes, okay? And Boxing Voice, shout out to Ness, he uploaded a video where he had a great camera angle where you could see him going from the side where the fight was stopped to the opposite side of the ring, and when he got there, he bumbled into the ropes. Okay, so that was a good stoppage. At first, after watching the reaction on YouTube, I was like, damn, man, maybe that wasn't a good stoppage, but it was. The guy was out of it, okay? And Washington, this is a learning experience. He got up too quick. He should have taken some extra seconds on the canvas to try to collect himself, then get up. Okay, he got up before the ref got to 4. Also, when Wilder came at him after the ref, let the fight continue, he was trying to throw instead of clinching. He should have clinched. So they need to spin him around, get him dizzy in the ring, and let some guys come at him with punches so he can learn how to clinch. Okay, I know he wasn't used to either of those things. A learning experience for Washington. This guy can be back. He was good. He had skills. Okay, and that's pretty much all I got to say, guys. Like I said, spread the word on this, man. Alabama, you guys are put on notice. Do not use these guys in Deontay Wilder fights anymore because the shit is suspect. Those scorecards were horrible. Thanks for watching.